What up, y'all? It's Motha Knows.
And we be knowing. Always knowing.
And one thing we know is we got some good men.
Some fathers.
Great fathers. And we just want to say happy Father's Day to all of y'all. I know this past weekend was Father's Day. And we had a chance to celebrate our guys, but we want to just take some time to celebrate all good fathers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I love the trend of like, and I'm not saying, okay, so I think social media always has this in the mindset, like, oh, this is new. This is the wave. It's just because we're recording it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we can see the moment, right? Because I was going to say, like, I feel like we're in this wave of dads really like just rising to the occasion, like showing up, showing out for their children. And especially, Black community, Black dads get the bad rap of not being in the home, not doing like all the Black men we know, like amazing fathers, like hands down. So got to shout them out.
Yeah. And I like that you bring that up. Social media does do a service of allowing us to see it now. But I do think, it was a little bit more prevalent than what we thought growing up. We just didn't see it because it wasn't like right in our face. Like
right in our face allows us to see. And then like media, what they wanted you to hear was
the narrative,
single Black mom and
the statistics.
So
but I mean, we got dads showing up for daddy-daughter dates. We got dads, doing hair. I love seeing the videos
attempting. Well, mine.
I mean, Keith can do a good ponytail, but that's about it.
Jameris ain't doing nobody's
or he'll
he ain't about to get them strays and them, he ain't about to brush it up like it need to be brushed up.
Or he'll do a good afro a picked out afro. My first away trip, I came home, my baby had the bushiest.
My first away trip, my daughter had a headband and an afro pick.
They throw that headband on quick. Come on, baby.
Her daycare teacher said, "Yeah, I thought something looked a little different about her." Like, girl, you Black, you know what was off about her.
Don't play with me,
right? And why didn't you pull your brush out real quick?
Right? You could have touched it up a little bit.
But anyway,
we digress.
He tried, right? Like
he was there to try.
Exactly. Girl, he knew to slap that headband on. No, I'll give you that.
Yeah. No, I just love, like, I have those moments where, and I saw something that was like, dads, when you see your wives with your children, just take a picture, take those, because women, we have that inclination, right? When we see those cute moments, we're just like,
yeah, that's true.
But I love taking those photos, those little
moments,
my husband with the girls, because it's just so special. I always tell them, like, I try to remind my daughters all the time, like, your dad is an amazing dad. Like, y'all hit the jackpot with your father,
Yep.
I try to like really instill that in them, and daddy.
Kids know, like they feel it, and I'm gonna like see it, but they feel it, like the love, the attention, like the fun, like just being able to see your father every day, and important. Go up to him for those like little moments and have those, even quiet moments with him, like. Just don't take that for granted. And I know they don't, but it's such a special thing to see it. Like, we grew up in a different dynamic, right? Like, of course, our parents were divorced. We saw our father on the weekends, but could call him, talk to him, and I mean, we still had a great relationship. Like, Daddy was very much so, like, I love you.
Yeah, very affectionate.
Like, very affectionate.
We would walk, hug him, lean on him, hang out with him, watch movies,
exactly.
Like, just in the. And I love too when it's so just natural and innate, and you're just like hanging. You can see your kids just hanging out with daddy, like not even doing anything, just being in there. They want to be in their dad's space. I love that.
And I like for me in my house, I look at the different dynamics. Right, we have daughters and we have a son. So with our girls, like I see how, like, especially my oldest, you can't tell her nothing about Jameris, child.
Guppo!
They tried my husband at work one time, and she wrote a letter. Okay, she probably be like, "Mommy, why you telling her?" But she wrote a letter and was like,
"What that letter say?
Don't try my dad again.
Go ahead and tell all her business. What that letter say?
Do not try him again." Okay.
Here she is in the corner, like
Mom. Okay. That's all she said. Just don't try her dad. But just to see like that connection they have. Like, she walks up to him and they give each other a hug, and she's so excited when he comes home. And then for my son to see, like, in the morning, like, his dad is like picking his hair out, and for church or like special events, like helping him put his, his tie around his button up. It's like just seeing the different dynamics. My son is going to know like what a man is and how he embodies himself with a family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'll take that trash out.
Yeah.
And he grumbling like, but no, like your family's going to depend on you to do these things. So get it done.
And one thing I think about too with Keith and the girls is like they also, you talk about the dynamic we had with Daddy. We didn't see him all the time. They're in his space all the time, right? So they see all of it. They see the gamut. They see how he rises to the occasion for the family. They see how he deals with, you know, things that might go wrong. You know, they really see all of it. And I love that for them. I love that they get to see him navigate life in general.
Yeah.
And even when we have like family issues, like little small things in there, they get to see how we navigate that together as a couple. So I love that for them.
Yeah. I think like you said, I think that with the men that we're married to and seeing them as fathers, but just the men that we know, like I love the fact that children are seeing men, like you said, in their full embodiment, right? Like what it means to be a man that is responsible, is accountable, knows how to have fun. Because my husband is great for like those spontaneous fun moments. I'm the person that we got to plan. We got to what's the details? Don't throw me into nothing, and I don't have my mind like set for it.
And Jameer is like,
come on, like let's go to here tomorrow. Like, but what about let's just go here tomorrow. And when I see the kids' reaction to it, I'm like, you're right. Like, let's just live in the spontaneity. But they get to see that full experience and really just have those moments. I think I need to do a better job of capturing those moments. And because printing the picture out or framing it and like.
Well, we live in an age too, though, where we don't need to do all that.
We don't, but I do need to do better.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you. I'm just saying, like, at least you're taking the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least we have it documented somewhere, you know?
True, because Alani, my 3-year-old, she'll go on my phone and be like, "Ooh, mommy," like she'll call out the people in the picture and like be excited about seeing her family, you know, like just doing those things and having those special moments. So
yeah. No, dads are just, they're dope.
And I'm gonna say, so dads are brothers, our uncles are, you know, whatever have you. So like I think it's amazing too that there are men that step into the role that others might need if they don't have their dad there, right? So like when our dad passed, I'm just thinking about like our Uncle Doug, right? Like Daddy passed and Uncle Doug stepped in to kind of fill in that fatherly role. Like you can never fill it completely, but he's an amazing man too. Like we love him to pieces. But he stepped in to make sure that we were good, that like, you know, he was communicating with us, checking in on us. And so just giving that shout out to men that extend that role beyond their immediate children, right? Because that's also important. There's a lot of kids, unfortunately, like, and people this day and age, their fathers have passed on or they're just not around for whatever reason. But men that extend themselves beyond just their immediate household, I think is so necessary.
Yeah, I love that you say that. I think about specifically the dynamic of like when we were growing up, it was more of the step parent instead of nowadays we're embracing this notion and idea of the bonus parent and how, you know, like I think we're doing a good job of even working around the language of what it means to show up in that role as a father figure. And I love that for the children growing up now because even though I never really had a real negative connotation to step parent, you know, stepmom, stepdad,
right?
It really could, you know, for some people, you never know how it shapes how you think about it. So
bonus definitely has a more positive connotation to it.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, like I get an extra, like I get
right. This is something that I'm privileged to have, instead of like another step. Taking another step. Taking on another step.
Something to get past.
Right. Yeah.
But so we got to make sure like we really honor our men.
Yeah.
We're in an age now where I love the fact that vulnerability is celebrated and we're seeing men have more conversations, like the podcasts, like if you go on just any platform, right? Like the videos, the podcasts around like how fatherhood is, you know, what it means and how it's difficult and how you navigate the different aspects of being a man when you have children, when you're married, like, you know, what that looks like and what it means. And men are stepping up and saying, hey, like I have all these roles too. And sometimes it's difficult to navigate, but that vulnerability piece that maybe and probably is not that easy for the traditional man, right? To kind of like express. especially like we're just coming out of it. Like we're 80s, 90s babies. Like vulnerability was not a thing.
Yeah, it's becoming, but
right.
It was not.
So to see like men really lean into it now, I think it's such a beautiful thing. And so like I really want, it's, you know, I know we're going to show up for our men because we're going, you know, like we took our my husband, my children's dad, to the beach. He loves the water, right? But I just really hope, and I know your husband is going to hit them golf balls.
He is going to the golf course. He actually he went to the U.S. Open, so Pinehurst.
Okay.
So he got to see Tiger Woods. He followed him. I think last Tuesday he followed him around on the course, and he loved it. Like loved it.
I know he was like in bliss. Like,
and then him and his guy friends are gonna go on do a round on Saturday, and then we'll take him to dinner and brunch on Sunday. So it'll be a nice, fun-filled weekend with celebrating our dad. You know,
yeah.
Celebrating my man.
Yeah,
my man. So,
I ain't gonna go
because I love that guy.
Right, I ain't gonna go there. Just as happy and content.
I love that
man. My man. But yeah, I just hope that all dads like have that special moment where, you know, like they can feel the love because y'all doing it for real.
And I want to do a special shout out to the fathers out there and the dads out there, who grew up and didn't have that representation and are now doing complete opposite and like really just showing up and showing out for their kids. I love
it's not easy to embody something that you didn't see,
that you didn't experience, that you yearned for, and then to actually do it for someone else, like put yourself aside, your feelings aside, because I'm sure that little kid in them would still love to have that and still questions like why couldn't I get this, you know, and they're still choosing it's a choice, choosing every day to do it differently.
And then it's the added pressure of, am I doing it right? Did I miss something?
Because I don't know.
I'm a little overwhelmed because I don't know how to accept all of this love. And like, you know, like it can be overstimulating. So that added pressure of doing it in spite of, right? Yeah. I think is amazing.
You know what's interesting? I'm thinking about the interview that Shannon Sharpe had with Gary Owens. And he talked about how, you know, he both his stepdad and his dad, he has kind of tension,
a strained relationship
with both of them. But he talked about not wanting to be what they were for him. And then when Shannon had that pivotal aha moment of, because Gary worked really hard to provide for his family, but he was a comedian on the road all the time, so he missed a lot. And he's talked about that. And Shannon was like, you work so hard not to become them, but you know, in their eyes, you know, even though you showed up and you provided them with stuff, you may have not been as present as they would have liked. And he had like you could see it in him,
that light bulb
moment of like, man, like I did everything I could not to be that. And in some ways, maybe I am for them.
I've seen, like again in like podcasts and stuff, like successful men like break down in tears, like, I can't be there every day for the moments because I'm
working so hard
for my family. I'm working hard, like, and I know it might not make sense to my young children who want daddy there every day. And you do have to make choices and sacrifices and, you know, like navigate. But sometimes that is the downside of a man, or we're going to stick to men, a man that is building for his family, right? Like, I'll never forget, it was an older woman that said, you can't expect both all the time. You can't expect your man to be there all the time, but then to also be building for your family and taking them to new heights all the time. And I was like, you know,
there's got to be some give and take.
It's got to be some give and take.
And to be completely honest, our generation is the generation that is pretty much sacrificing to give the next the more, because you know the generations before us paved the way and opened the door, but we are pretty much the first generation reaping the benefits of everything that they did to open the door. So we are now working our butt off to accumulate and amass what we
entrepreneurship is, you know, like we want our own.
But it's true. We are the generation that has been called to like really amass what we can for the next generation and catapult that next generation forward. So there is a lot of sacrifice, you know, and I just want to, you know, applaud all the dads out there that are doing their thing and really understanding the balance of it all, because it is a balance. And moms have had to juggle that for a juggle for a long time. And I love seeing now even some of my colleagues at work, like just showing up for their children, like, or ending a meeting and saying, hey guys,
I gotta go,
I have a hard stop because I gotta run to my son's game. I gotta run to my daughter's, swim meet. So I love seeing that dads are now stepping into that role that traditionally women have had.
Yeah. So I hope, because the running joke is like, here go another year dad socks, another year some ties, another hat, like. So I hope that all the men like were able to receive the gifts that really mean something to them, like your husband was able to experience golf, and we took my husband to the beach because he loves the water. Like, I really hope that they were able to get those things that really touch their spirit. And give them some joy, because I don't want to hear about no socks and ties either,
and like,
a mug. Like, I love me a good
y'all
mug,
give them some good gifts, please. Give them
we hope y'all got them some good gifts, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But on that note, happy Father's Day. Happy. It has passed by now, but we hope you guys had a wonderful Father's Day.
Y'all deserve it.
You deserve it. We celebrate you. We applaud you. We love you. We lift you up. All that good stuff. All right, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know how y'all celebrated Father's Day for your special someone.
Yeah, please show us in the comments, because you might give me an idea for next year. Okay, like let's spread the love, spread the knowledge. But you can find us at Motha Knows Co on TikTok and YouTube, and Motha_Knows on Instagram.
All right, y'all.
Bye.